From one pedigree class to another, from Monaco to Mallala, this is the 250 Grand Prix class getting set for a start. This is a cracker field. The racing all year has been absolutely fantastic, and it's going all the way to the wire. It's been a huge battle in qualifying with Crocker, Connell, Payton and Watts, but it is Rip Crocker sitting on pole position after a blinder right at the end of qualifying.
We just tried setting up the bike right yesterday. I was sort of half a second behind Craig Connell, who was going pretty quick, and I thought I'd just pull into the pits and think about everything and made a few adjustments, went back out, and last lap proved to be the lap that got pole.
Now, Wanneroo, the race prior to this one, you managed to knock him off, so what's the plan here?
Mate, he's getting a bit closer to the championship, so, you know, I don't want to do anything silly. I just want to stay on the bike, gather points, and then hopefully be the showdown at Phillip Island.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough decision there for Rip Crocker. He really does have to, well, at least keep the points status quo. It is Craig Connell who is fighting back all the way through the season. The start here at Mallala is tough. It looks to me as if Marcus Payton's got the good line, but Alan Watts has fired out of the line there, front row. Great run from him. Atlee's up there as well. He's looking strong now. As far as Crocker's concerned, he wants to finish ahead of Craig Connell. His work's cut out for him because he's 3 bikes behind right at the moment.
Yeah, Connell at the business end of the championship. He's really going to have his race face on today here. Already down, trying to get down the inside on that first corner. They generally take it a little bit cautiously on these bikes with the slick tyres for the first lap until they can generate a little bit of heat of them. But Connell is really a man on a mission here today. He's got to make up this points deficit to Crocker.
Yep, Alan Watts, bike 3, looks real strong at the moment as well, putting in a big battle. Here comes Atlee, bike 6, round the outside of the reigning national champion. Gee, that's a brave move. And the 250 GP bikes work so well. Here at Mallala, oh, Watts up and out of the seat. Connell almost goes with him in sympathy. Gee, that was close. Talking about cold tyres, Dennis Neal, that seemed to me to be exactly what had happened there. Both of them lost the front end. Either way, Rip Crocker looks to be gaining the points and certainly at least the advantage out of this one right at the moment. Gee, how close was that for Alan Watts? Hasn't slowed them down in the slightest. They're already straight back into it. So Watts into second place. Then it's Atlee back in third. Here comes Connell up the inside. Surely not. Well, can you believe that? Well, I've just seen it and I'm still not sure how he managed to do that, Dennis Neal. That was really aggressive.
Yes, Craig Connell really got his race face on here today. Slips up the inside there. He's, I thought, would be taking a little bit more cautiously, but I think when he almost got brought down by Watts in that first couple of corners, he's decided, I'm getting out of here.
Had enough and simply wants to get on and win the race. Watts wants to argue back though. Have a look at this as they come through this sweeper. Absolutely flat in top, better than 230 kilometres an hour. They might be 250cc's engine size wise, but these things produce better than 100 horsepower and weigh 100 kilo. Power weight ratio similar to a missile. As we see Connell here starting to make some real ground on Crocker. All the while, Alan Watts is coming along to the right. Alan Watts from Western Australia has toured the entire country racing in the championship. Big run from him. They've put in a lot of work. It's Crocker, Connell, Watts, Atlee up behind them as well. So 4 or 5 riders all at the front of the field, but the man on screen, the reigning national champion, Craig Connell, who really does want to go to Europe and race in the 250 World Road Racing Championship. He's the guy that everyone really has to beat, both psychologically, machine-wise, and experience. You just can't beat it. Look at the ground he's already made on Rip Crocker. Ducks to the inside on him. Now there's a man we haven't quite seen for a little while. Marcus Payton comes into play and starts to work over the tail of Alan Watts' machine. Now Payton, he's got a riding style you can't forget. Up the inside goes Connell to the lead. So Craig Connell now in charge here at Mallala and piling on the points. That's what it's all about. This is a points ball for the Australian Championship. Remember that the top 2 250 Grand Prix riders will automatically get a start next year at Eastern Creek in the final round of the World 250 Road Racing Championships. So it's crucial for these guys that they get enough points on board, get what it takes to get themselves up onto the grid of the World Road Racing Championship. I suppose one of the problems is the guys do need the equipment. Quite often they borrow parts from other teams. Crocker through in second place. Oh, he's run himself wide here. Gets, just back onto the track. Very fortunate. The slick tyres do not like being out in the gravel like that, Dennis. For these guys, ultimately, put your best foot forward, try and get into the Grand Prix for a start, and then from there, hope someone notices you.
Well, that's right, Greg. Craig Connell, totally dominant in this class last year. He's wearing the number 1 plate. Has had some machine problems at the start of this year and is playing catch-up mode at the moment to Crocker. Now that's going to be to his advantage with Crocker running wide there. He's strengthened his lead here a little bit. Crocker, I'm sure, will gather his thoughts back together. Payton now coming up the inside, and that slots him into 3rd place. That was a good manoeuvre.
Yes, he certainly is strong under brakes, Marcus Payton. He's a glory to watch, isn't he, through the corners. But Rip Crocker, he'd be thinking to himself, you know, do I take the risks now, or do I know that I can finish this race, still be ahead on points? You know, last year, Craig Connell won every single 250 Grand Prix race in the Australian Championship. Very rare that that ever happens. And for him, well, he knows where he is, he knows where he's been, like as in testing circuits, he knows gearing, he knows what kind of setups he wants. For some of these riders, they're new to this game. This is their first time riding a Grand Prix bike at some of the circuits. They're up against it. Mal Pittman from Yamaha travels around with all of the riders and in fact helps all the Yamaha competitors. So Yamaha have sort of got themselves a floating technician out there, just helping the riders who ride the Yamaha machines to get that little edge. Now this is one fast motorcycle, 220, 230 kilometres an hour through there. Look at Connell, cool, calm and collected on the motorcycle. He does not waste energy on the bike. He doesn't climb side to side more than he has to. The ultimate Grand Prix racer, and really he has got a huge future. If you look at someone like Rip Crocker, younger, definitely more hungry, and I think also with a huge future in Grand Prix racing. Either one of them, you would be very happy to have them representing Australia in the World Road Racing Championships. Well, on screen and looking strong for his last lap, Craig Connell. Gee, this has been a dominant performance. He did not have pole position, but he's shown he's got what it takes to put the runs on the board and get the points in the bag.
Yeah, well, Crocker would be a little bit disappointed that he had that little lapse of concentration there, ran over the ribble strip, but he has gathered it back together. I think he's going to get a pretty safe second, so he'll be still leading the championship after this race.
Well, one thing is for sure and certain, that guys like Payton, they're also very hungry behind these two, Connell and Crocker. And, you know, when you talk to both of them, they're very, very relaxed. Unlike some of the riders around them, they seem to be very comfortable with their lot in the world. I definitely think Craig Connell knows that he wants to do 250 Grand Prix racing. Rip Crocker, I think, on the other hand, would grab a superbike ride by the throat and say, thank you very much, I'll have that. But it's Connell who seems to be very much the specialist Grand Prix racer. But don't take it away from either Crocker, Attlee, even young Attlee, son of Len Attlee. He's coming a long way fast, and they're learning the machine, and really Grand Prix racing requires a real touch with the bike. Last corner, heading onto the checkered flag, comes Craig Connell. He'll be happy with that one. And you can see now that he's not that far ahead of Rip Crocker. Marcus Payton, well and truly clear in 3rd place ahead of Alan Watts, who grabs 4th with a bit of a mono across the line. Well, that's race 1, round 5 of the 250 Grand Prix Championship for the Australian title. The reigning champion Craig Connell making a run now and starting to put some real interest into the 250 Grand Prix Championship.